Claudia slammed the car door shut, her heart pounding as rain hammered against the windows of the sleek black SUV. Cora, her driver for the past 6 months, had just veered off the highway into a deserted parking lot, her hands gripping the wheel like it was the only thing keeping her sane. Without a word, Cora turned, her eyes wild with something Claudia couldn't place. Anger, desperation, maybe both, and shoved her back against the leather seat, pinning her shoulders down with surprising force. Claudia gasped, her mind reeling. This wasn't the Cora she knew, the straight-laced woman who picked her up every morning with a polite nod and a thermos of black coffee. What the hell was happening? Her thoughts raced. Was this some kind of attack? But Cora's face, inches from hers, wasn't menacing. It was fractured, tears mixing with the rain streaking down from her soaked hair. Claudia, I can't do this anymore, Cora whispered, her voice breaking like glass. Pretending. Hiding. It's killing me. Claudia's breath caught. Pretending? The word hung in the air, heavy with implications she had sensed but never dared to voice. For months, their rides had been filled with stolen glances, lingering conversations that strayed too far into personal territory. Claudia, openly gay and unapologetic in her professional life as a high-powered attorney in New York City, had felt the spark from day one. But Cora? Cora was straight, or so she claimed during one of those late-night drives when Claudia had casually mentioned her ex-girlfriend. I'm not like that, Cora had said then, her tone firm, almost defensive. Yet here they were, bodies pressed close in the confined space, the air thick with unspoken truths. Claudia's mind whirled inward. How had it come to this? She thought back to the first time Cora drove her, assigned by the firm after Claudia's previous driver retired. Cora was efficient, reliable, with a no-nonsense attitude that Claudia admired. But admiration had turned to attraction, subtle at first. A brush of hands when passing a water bottle. The way Cora's laugh filled the car during traffic jams. Claudia had kept it professional, burying her feelings under layers of work deadlines and court cases. She knew the risks. Power dynamics, potential harassment claims, the messiness of mixing business with desire. But now, with Cora's weight on her, those buried feelings clawed their way to the surface. Please say something, Cora pleaded, her grip loosening but not releasing. Claudia could feel the tremor in her hands, the vulnerability that shattered the facade Cora had maintained so carefully. I don't understand, Claudia lied, buying time. Inside, a storm raged. Part of her wanted to push Cora away, to demand an explanation and end this before it spiraled. But another part, the one that had lain awake at night imagining this very moment, urged her to lean in. What if this was real? What if Cora had been fighting the same internal battle? Cora pulled back slightly, her blue eyes searching Claudia's face. I've been lying to myself. To everyone. My family, my friends, they all think I'm this perfect straight girl, ready to settle down with some guy from church. But you. Being around you has made me question everything. That night last week when you talked about your Pride Parade experiences, I felt jealous. Not of you, but of the freedom you have. Claudia's heart ached. Freedom? If only Cora knew the cost. Growing up in a conservative suburb outside Boston, Claudia had faced her own demons. Her parents, devout Catholics, had disowned her at 18 when she came out. It's a sin, her mother had said, tears streaming. We can't support this choice. Choice? As if love was something you picked off a menu. Claudia had built her life from scratch in New York, clawing her way through law school on scholarships and part-time jobs. Success came, but so did isolation. Relationships fizzled under the weight of her career. And now at 29, she wondered if she'd ever find someone who saw beyond the polished exterior. And Cora? From their talks, Claudia knew she came from a tight-knit family in rural Pennsylvania, where traditions ran deep and expectations even deeper. My dad's a pastor, Cora had once confided. He'd never understand. The words had lingered, a warning Claudia heeded until now. So what now? Claudia asked, her voice steadier than she felt. You push me down and confess? What about your job? Your life? Cora flinched as if slapped. I don't know. I needed to stop pretending. Every time I drop you off, I go home to an empty apartment, staring at the ceiling, wondering why I feel so hollow. It's you, Claudia. You're the one who makes me feel alive. The confession hit like a wave, pulling Claudia under. She wanted to believe it, to grab hold and never let go. But doubt crept in. Was this genuine or a fleeting crisis? Cora was straight, supposedly. What if this was just confusion, a phase that would leave Claudia heartbroken and exposed? As the rain eased, Claudia gently pushed Cora back, creating space. We can't do this here. Not like this. Let's talk somewhere else. Cora nodded, wiping her eyes, and started the engine. The drive to Claudia's apartment was silent, tension coiling like a spring. Inside Claudia's mind, questions swirled. Was she ready to risk everything for this? Her career, her heart? And what about Cora's family? The societal chains that bound her so tightly? They arrived, and as they stepped into the elevator, Claudia's phone buzzed. A text from her sister, the only family member who still spoke to her. Mom's asking about you again. She misses you. The timing felt like a cruel joke. Reconciliation with her family had been a distant dream, one she'd nearly given up on. Now, with Cora by her side, it seemed even further away. In the apartment, they sat on the couch, coffee mugs in hand, the air heavy with possibility and peril. Cora spoke first. I grew up hearing that love like this was wrong. My dad preached against it every Sunday. But meeting you, it's not wrong. It feels right. Claudia set her mug down, her thoughts a tangle. Right for whom? She remembered her own coming out, the pain of rejection that still stung. It's not that simple, Cora. If we pursue this, you'll face backlash. From your family, society. Are you prepared for that? Cora's eyes hardened with determination. I have to be. I can't live a lie anymore. But as they talked into the night, Claudia couldn't shake the fear. What if Cora regretted it? What if the pressure broke her? The decisions ahead loomed like shadows, each one carrying a price. The next morning dawned with a clarity that mocked the chaos in Claudia's heart. She woke to find Cora gone, a note on the kitchen counter. Needed to think. See you at work. Simple words, but they ignited a firestorm of doubt. Had last night been a mistake? Claudia paced her apartment, replaying the push, the confession, the hours of raw conversation. She had opened up too, sharing stories of her ex, the woman who left because Claudia's work consumed her. I can't compete with your ambition, she'd said. Now with Cora, ambition felt like the least of her worries. At the office, Cora arrived on time, her expression neutral, as if nothing had happened. But Claudia saw the cracks, the slight tremble in her hands as she held the car door open. The drive to court was torturous, silence broken only by the hum of traffic. Claudia's mind raced. Should she address it? Pretend it away? Finally she spoke. About last night. Cora glanced in the rearview mirror, her eyes guarded. I meant what I said. But I'm scared, Claudia. My family. They're everything to me. Claudia nodded, understanding all too well. Her own family rift had left scars that never fully healed. Holidays alone, birthdays ignored. It was a loneliness that gnawed at her soul. I get it. My parents cut me off years ago. It hurts, but you survive. Cora's knuckles whitened on the wheel. Survive? I don't know if I can. My dad's health is failing. If I come out, it could kill him. The words hung heavy, a moral quandary that twisted Claudia's gut. Push Cora to embrace her truth and risk destroying her family bonds? Or step back and watch her suffer in silence? It was a choice fraught with ethical landmines. Claudia had always prided herself on integrity, but love blurred the lines. That afternoon, after a grueling court session where Claudia won a discrimination case for a queer client, the irony wasn't lost on her. She fought for others' rights while her own life teetered on the edge. Back in the car, Cora broke the ice. You were amazing in there. Fighting for people like us. Like us. Claudia echoed, her heart skipping. It was the first acknowledgement of a shared identity. Cora pulled over at a coffee shop, turning to face her. Yeah. I spent the morning thinking about it. I called my sister, tested the waters. She freaked out, said I'd be disowned. Claudia's stomach dropped. And I hung up. But it made me realize I can't keep this bottled up. Not if it means losing you before we even start. They talked over lattes, voices low in the bustling shop. Cora confessed more. Childhood crushes on girls dismissed as phases. A failed engagement to a man that felt like a prison. I thought marrying him would fix me, she said, voice laced with regret. But it only made the emptiness worse. Claudia shared her own battles, the microaggressions at work, the judgmental stares in public. Society says we're equal now, but the prejudice lingers. It's exhausting. As they drove home, a tentative kiss in the parking garage sealed their pact. Soft, uncertain, but electric. Claudia's inner voice warned. This could end in flames. But the pull was too strong. Days blurred into a secret affair, stolen moments in the car, late-night texts. Claudia's work suffered. She snapped at colleagues, her focus splintered. Inside, guilt festered. Was she exploiting her position? Cora was her employee after all. The power imbalance gnawed at her ethics. Then came the first crack. Cora's phone rang during a drive. Her mother. Honey, your father wants you home for Sunday dinner. Bring that nice boy from work. Cora's face paled. I can't, Mom. I'm busy. The call ended with tension, and Cora turned to Claudia. I have to go home this weekend. Alone. Jealousy flared in Claudia. Irrational but potent. To pretend everything's normal? It's not that simple, Cora snapped. You don't understand the pressure. The argument escalated, words like daggers. You're choosing them over us, Claudia accused. And you're pushing me too fast, Cora retorted. They parted angry, Claudia slamming the door. Alone in her apartment, she questioned everything. Was love worth this pain? Her mind replayed past heartbreaks, each one a lesson in caution. But Cora was different, or was she? Monday brought reconciliation. Cora apologized, flowers in hand. I told my sister the truth. She didn't react well, but it's a start. Claudia's relief was short-lived. Rumors at work surfaced, whispers about her and the driver. A colleague pulled her aside. Be careful. HR's watching. Panic set in. Her career, hard-earned, could crumble. That night she confronted Cora. We have to be discreet. Or end it. Cora's eyes filled with hurt. End it? After everything. The dilemma tore at Claudia. Protect herself or fight for them. Society's gaze felt like a spotlight, judging every move. As weeks passed, the relationship deepened, but so did the conflicts. Cora's family visits became battlegrounds, her father's sermons echoing in her mind. Homosexuality is a test from God, he'd say. Cora confided her turmoil. What if he's right? What if I'm damning us both? Claudia's faith, long abandoned, offered no solace. It's not a sin. It's love. But doubt seeded in Cora, leading to a night of tears. I betrayed my family by lying. Now by being with you. The moral weight crushed them. Claudia wondered, was pursuing this selfish? The choices they made, secrecy, defiance, carried costs that mounted daily. Tension simmered like a pot about to boil over. Claudia's days at the firm became a tightrope walk, balancing cases with the secret gnawing at her conscience. One evening, after a particularly brutal deposition, she found Cora waiting, engine idling. But something was off. Cora's eyes were red-rimmed, her posture defeated. What's wrong? Claudia asked, sliding into the back. Cora didn't start the car. My dad found out. My sister told him. Claudia's world tilted. How? What did she say? Everything. She saw my texts, confronted me. I denied it at first, but she pushed and I broke. Cora's voice cracked. Dad called me a disgrace. Said I'm no longer welcome home. The betrayal hit Claudia like a punch. Cora's sister, the one confidant, had turned informant. Family loyalty trumped all, it seemed. Claudia reached forward, touching Cora's shoulder. I'm so sorry. But inside anger brewed. Why hadn't Cora been more careful? And guilt followed. Had Claudia pressured her into this revelation? They drove to a quiet park, sitting on a bench as dusk fell. Cora poured out the details, the heated phone call, her father's voice thundering biblical verses, her mother's silent sobs in the background. He said I'd burn in hell. That I've chosen sin over salvation. Claudia's heart broke for her. She remembered her own parents' reaction, the door slamming shut on her childhood. It gets better. Not easier, but better. You build your own family. Cora shook her head. But I love them. They're all I have. The conflict tore at Cora's soul. Loyalty to blood versus authenticity to self. A moral crossroads with no clear path. She questioned her choices. Was coming out worth the fracture? Had she been hasty, influenced by Claudia's confidence? Claudia, too, wrestled inwardly. Her success masked the voids. Friends who drifted, lovers who left. Now with Cora, she faced the mirror. Was she ready to support someone through this storm? Or would she bail when it got too hard? The next day brought more fallout. Cora's phone buzzed incessantly. Texts from relatives pleading, condemning. One from her cousin. Think about what you're doing to the family name. Society's tendrils reached far, enforcing norms through shame. At work, the rumors escalated. Claudia's boss called her in. There's talk about you and your driver. If it's true, it's a conflict. Reassign her or face review. Panic surged. Her career, her identity as a fierce advocate, hung in the balance. She confronted Cora that evening. We have to stop. For now. Cora's face crumpled. Stop? You're abandoning me. No, Claudia insisted, though doubt whispered yes. It's to protect us. But Cora saw it as betrayal. You pushed me to this point and now you pull away? The argument raged, accusations flying. You're weak, Claudia shot back, regretting it instantly. Cora stormed out, leaving Claudia alone with her thoughts. Weak? No, cautious. But the line between caution and cowardice blurred. Weeks dragged on in strained professionalism. Cora drove in silence, eyes forward. Claudia buried herself in work, winning cases but losing sleep. Inner monologues haunted her. What if she fought harder? What price was too high for love? Then a turning point. Cora's father suffered a heart attack. She rushed home, Claudia driving her in a reversal of roles. At the hospital, tension peaked. Cora's family glared at Claudia, whispers of that woman circulating. Cora's mother approached. You did this. Your influence broke her. Claudia's temper flared. Love isn't influence. It's truth. But inside, guilt festered. Had she contributed to this crisis? The moral ambiguity weighed heavy. Cora emerged from the room, eyes hollow. He's stable. But he won't see me. The rejection crushed her. In the car ride back, she broke down. I chose you and now I've lost them. Was it worth it? Claudia pulled over, holding her. We'll figure it out. But doubt lingered. Society's judgment, family's scorn, the damages accumulated. Friends distanced themselves from Cora, labeling her a homewrecker. Even Claudia's circle questioned. Is she really gay? Or just experimenting? The questions fueled paranoia. Cora withdrew, second-guessing her identity. What if it's a phase? What if I ruin your life too? Claudia's assurance rang hollow. Her own past resurfaced. A college fling that ended in denial, leaving her shattered. History repeating? A confrontation brewed. Over dinner, Cora admitted. I applied for a new job. To give us space. Betrayal stung. Space? Or escape? Both, Cora confessed. I'm drowning in the consequences. The night ended in tears, decisions hanging like swords. Claudia pondered. Sacrifice career for love? Or let go to save them both? As high tide approached, a scandal erupted. An anonymous tip to the firm alleged impropriety. HR investigated, suspending Claudia pending review. Fury boiled. Who leaked? Cora's sister? A jealous colleague? In the midst of chaos, Cora stood by her. We'll fight this. But the cost mounted. Reputation tarnished, privacy invaded. Society's microscope amplified every flaw. Claudia's inner turmoil peaked. Right or wrong, the choices defined them. Damage done, awakening loomed. The investigation dragged on like a bad dream, each interview peeling back layers of their secret. Claudia sat in sterile conference rooms, defending her actions to stone-faced HR reps. It's consensual, she insisted. No coercion. But the power dynamic loomed large. You're her boss, essentially, they countered. That's problematic. Inside, Claudia seethed. Problematic? Love reduced to policy violations. Her mind raced through hypotheticals. If Cora were a man, would it matter? Heteronormative biases colored everything. Cora faced her own interrogations, her vulnerability exposed. I pursued it, she told them. Not her. But doubt crept in. At home, she confessed to Claudia, "What if they're right? What if I was influenced?" The question ignited a firestorm. "Influenced? You think I'm manipulating you?" "No," Cora backtracked. "But the pressure. It's everywhere. Pressure from all sides. Family disowning, society condemning, ethics questioning." Cora's father recovered but refused contact. His silence a louder rebuke than words. Her mother sent a letter. "Come back to God. Leave that life." The words haunted Cora, stirring moral conflicts. Was she defying divine will? Betraying her upbringing? Claudia, agnostic at best, struggled to console. It's control, not faith. But her own ethics wavered. Continuing meant more pain for Cora. Ending it meant heartbreak for both. A pivotal moment came at a support group Claudia dragged Cora to. A gathering for LGBTQ individuals facing family rejection. Stories shared mirrored theirs. Disownments, conversions attempted, lives rebuilt from ashes. One woman spoke. "I lost my parents but gained myself." Cora listened, tears flowing. Afterward, she said, "Maybe I can too." Hope flickered, but reality crashed in. The firm ruled. Reassign Cora or resign. Claudia chose resignation. "I won't let them dictate my life." The decision shocked Cora. "For me? That's too much." "No," Claudia replied. "For us." But the sacrifice weighed heavy. Jobless, Claudia faced financial strain. Her identity as a powerhouse attorney stripped. Inner voices mocked. Foolish? Noble? Cora, reassigned to another client, distanced herself. "I need time to process." The separation felt like betrayal. Claudia questioned. Had Cora used her as a catalyst only to retreat? Weeks of radio silence followed. Claudia networked for new jobs, but rumors hindered. Society's whisper network punished the bold. Then a call from Cora. "Meet me, please." They reunited at their old coffee shop, tension palpable. Cora looked worn but resolute. "I confronted my family. Told them it's my life." Claudia's heart soared. "And?" "They didn't budge. But I did. I'm moving out, starting fresh." Relief washed over, but caution remained. "With me." Cora hesitated. "I love you, but the damage. It's a lot." The words stung. A half-victory laced with loss. They talked for hours, dissecting choices, regrets. Cora admitted a fling in college suppressed. "I betrayed myself then. Now I'm paying." Claudia shared her own. A relationship ended by societal pressure. "We all pay prices." As they parted, a kiss reignited sparks. But high noon approached, a public outing. Cora's sister leaked details to a local paper, framing it as scandal. Headlines screamed, "Attorney's affair with driver sparks ethics debate." Outrage followed, online trolls, judgmental calls. Society's verdict, immoral, predatory. Claudia's inner storm raged. Fight back or hide? She chose fight, penning an op-ed. "Love isn't a crime. Prejudice is." The piece went viral, drawing support and backlash. Allies rallied, but enemies doubled down. Cora stood by, but cracks showed. The hate. It's too much. A climactic confrontation. Cora's father called, begging return. "Repent, and all is forgiven." Temptation tugged. Cora wavered. "What if I go back? Pretend." Claudia's heart shattered. "Then it's over." The choice loomed, ethics clashing. Betray self for family? Or forge ahead, damaged but free? Cora chose forward. "I can't go back." They embraced, but victory felt pyrrhic. Losses tallied, jobs, family, innocence. Awakening dawned slowly. Claudia found a new firm, one championing queer rights. Cora pursued therapy, unpacking trauma. But scars remained. Society's gaze lingered, a constant reminder. In quiet moments, Claudia pondered. Was the pain worth the truth? Healing came in fits and starts, like a wound that scabs over only to tear open again. Claudia and Cora moved in together. A small apartment in Brooklyn, away from the glare of Manhattan's corporate world. Mornings were tentative, coffee shared with cautious smiles, as if testing the ground beneath them. But the shadows of their past decisions loomed, manifesting in arguments over trivial things that masked deeper fears. One night, after a long day at Claudia's new job, defending LGBTQ clients in discrimination suits, the dam broke. Cora stared at her across the dinner table, fork idle. Do you regret it? Us. Claudia paused, fork midway to her mouth. The question unearthed buried doubts. Sometimes. The cost was high. Cora nodded, eyes downcast. Me too. My family's gone. Forever, maybe. The admission hung heavy, a testament to the sacrifices made. Claudia reached for her hand. But we're here. That's something. Something, but was it enough? Claudia's mind often wandered to alternate paths. If she'd resisted that initial spark, would life be simpler? No heartbreak, no scandal. But no love either. The trade-off gnawed at her ethics. Had she prioritized her desires over Cora's well-being? Cora, too, grappled inwardly. Therapy sessions revealed layers of internalized homophobia, planted by her upbringing. I betrayed my faith, she confessed one session, words echoing in her mind. But betrayal of self was the greater sin, she realized. Society's pressure didn't relent. At a pride event, they faced stares, whispers. A former colleague approached Claudia. Bold move, quitting. But was it wise? Wise. The word mocked her. Wisdom in love was elusive, choices debated endlessly. A family reunion invite arrived for Cora. Her cousin's wedding. Come alone, it implied. The exclusion stung, reigniting conflict. Should I go? Cora asked. Claudia hit her jealousy. If you need to. Cora went, returning shattered. They treated me like a stranger. Prayed for my soul. The damage deepened, but so did resolve. Cora cut ties fully, a painful amputation. It's freedom, she said, though tears betrayed the cost. Claudia's own awakening came via a call from her sister. Mom wants to talk. She's softening. Hope flickered. A meeting arranged, tentative. At a neutral cafe, her mother sat rigid. I don't approve, but I miss you. Progress bittersweet. Claudia shared about Cora. She's my partner. Her mother's flinch spoke volumes. It's against God's plan. The old wound reopened. Claudia left, pondering. Reconciliation or authenticity? She chose the latter, boundaries firm. As months passed, their bond strengthened amid trials. Cora found work as a counselor, helping others navigate coming out. Claudia thrived, her op-ed leading to speaking gigs. But high drama peaked when Cora's father reached out, hospitalized again. I want to see you, he said. Cora agonized. Go and risk regression? Stay and regret? She went, Claudia by her side. In the sterile room, tension crackled. Her father looked frail. I was wrong, he whispered. Fear blinded me. Tears flowed, forgiveness tentative. Not full acceptance, but a crack in the wall. The moment awakened them both. Choices, though painful, led to growth. Back home they reflected. Damages healed slowly, but the journey forged resilience. Society evolved too, laws passed, attitudes shifted. But personal battles remained. In the end, as they lay in bed, Claudia whispered, was it all worth it? Cora smiled. Yes, because I found me. And you. Yet questions lingered, ethics debated. Was denying one's truth ever the right choice? Or does authenticity always demand its pound of flesh?